Hello everyone. Today I'm going to start a new series called Fangame Friday, which is when I will be playing Bendy and the Ink Machine Fangames every Friday, and hopefully I can do that without skipping any days. But here we go, this is the first one, and this one is going to be about the Bendy and the Map Maker game made by one of my friends, Zomlord. He's a very talented developer, and I think he did a really good job on this game, and I'm going to show you it today. So you can see in the settings, you can change the sensitivity of both the editor and the player, which we'll see later, and then we can change the graphics. I'm going to leave all of this on, because it will just show how beautiful it is. So let's go back. So, without further ado, let's play the game. Now, if you can see, this will load us into the editor, which looks sort of like what Unity looks like, but I don't imagine that you know what Unity looks like. And you will also see that there are these weirdly shaped triangles, which indicate the sizes of the bounding box, so yeah. And this is a map maker, which is sort of similar to my game Joe Sandbox in build mode, but the difference here is that it's more about the map, there's more features, and also there are no NPCs or anything else, which is like a sandbox feature. This is just a map creator. But if you can see, then you can actually move the objects, of course, to make the new map. You can actually move them by pressing these arrows. It's not very smooth, but it's working. And you can also duplicate it. Then you can move the duplicate out of the way to actually extend the floor. Now, you can also delete it, but I'm not going to do that because it's fine. And you can also change these settings, so I can set it to 10. And then if I then duplicate it, I can actually move it out of the way very easily, which is something that, yeah, you could do in Joe Sandbox once again. But, of course, this is a whole different game with much more stunning graphics and more stuff. But also, it doesn't have AI, so that's the main difference between these two games. So with that out of the way, I won't talk about Joe Sandbox ever again. Oh, and also, this is a PC game, so if you're on mobile, unfortunately, you are out of luck for now. But if you want it on mobile, don't comment on this video because I'm not the person who made this and I cannot help you in any way. So if you want, you should check out his channel, which I will have a link to in the description, and you can comment, "Make this game on mobile or else." Well, don't say that, I was just joking. Anyway, you can also move lights, which is something that I never added anywhere because I'm not really a fan of good graphics or lighting. I don't really care about that stuff. I don't know if that's good or bad, it's just how I am. But you can see that I can move it, and now, well, the light's not there. And now it's here. It doesn't really matter. You can also reset the position and the rotation. Doesn't look like there's the scale data, but you can actually change the scale. So let's add some more stuff, shall we? There's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of just plain walls and stuff. So I can go ahead and I can craft, or did I say craft? Well, this isn't Minecraft, but it's similar, so okay, I can create a door frame here, for example. Here it is, it can spawn in. And now we can go ahead and rotate it. You can see the arrows here. Oops, I didn't select it. Okay, now we can do it. Okay, and I can also make it 90 degrees, so it's easier. And now I can just do it like that, and then what I can do next is I can move it out of the way so it's in the correct position. Okay, I might have to make it a smaller size so I can just make it in the right position. There we go. The direction is correct though, which is good. So here we have it almost in the correct spot. Here it is. So now we have added a door frame successfully. Now there's definitely a lot more here. We can add a lot of very fancy stuff here. If you just scroll through this, you can find a lot of different type of stuff, even invisible walls. But what I really like is the ink water, because he made it work very well. So here it is. You can see that there's actually ink flow textures, not just ink. It has a very good shader, which is his specialty. He's a very talented developer in terms of shaders and very good graphics. So let me go ahead and just line this up. I need to make the thing a bit different. Okay, here it is. There we go. Now we can just move it out of the way so it's actually synced. So here we go. If we actually take a look, you can see there's now the sync. Okay, it's a little bit off. That's because of perspective. I can see that it wasn't correct. Anyway, yeah, there's problems with the perspective, but that's not the game's fault. So here it is. This is the ink. It's kind of beautiful. I really like it. And I can also add an invisible box. So here it is. You can see an invisible box here, but it's not visible actually. So okay, I should change that. So for example, we have an invisible box here. And to demonstrate that it's there, I'm actually going to hit the play button, which is how you play these maps. You can see the ink is beautiful, but if I try to go off the edge here, you can see that something is stopping me. So yeah, the box is there. So let me exit this mode again, and we can actually leave it. We don't need it. So this is the environment, but there's also a lot of props here, like a lot of props. Much more than anything that I have ever done. So let me just, it's kind of hard to control it, but okay, here we go. You can see there's a lot of different stuff, like very much. Like there's a lot of cool stuff. Let's like add a machine wall, yes. And you can see it's fully functional with working animations and working sound. So it's pretty cool that he managed to add such a cool feature to the game. Of course, he takes game development very seriously, unlike me. I would never make such a good game. That's just me being not very fond of the stuff I make, but it's fine, as long as you're enjoying it. Now let me just rotate it again. There it is, and then we'll move it again into the wall. So here we go. We can now make a very, very beautiful looking wall here. Here it is. You can see it's here and it's animated. I'm not going to spawn any more of the props because it's pretty obvious that they are here and you can spawn them. It's pretty big. There's a lot of different stuff you can add. So of course there's the lighting, which I already said, but you can actually do a lot of cool stuff, like a spotlight projector, for example. No, I don't fully understand what that is at the moment, but let's test it out. So I'm actually not sure where the front of it is. So let me go ahead and like, oh, it's like a, yeah, it's like the projector. Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, it's pretty cool that you can actually do a projector screen effect here as well. Okay, and more, you can actually add a lot of different characters. Of course, we have to spawn Sammy. He's like the whole symbol of my game and my channel, so I have to put him in here. Of course, Sammy, we cannot move his bones yet and put him into a pose. He isn't a functional NPC, but maybe in some future update this will be a thing. Actually, it's a very good suggestion now that I think about it. But okay, let's go ahead and put him in the map. It's kind of hard to align. I wish there was like a keyboard control, like you can press a hotkey to move it. But okay, it's not that difficult. Let's just put him on the map. Sam. Is Sam in the ground yet? Okay, nope. Not yet. Okay, now he is. Now let's just make him face the player. So here we go. This is Sammy. He's standing there. So besides the characters, we have the decals, which are things that you can put on the wall, which are just flat PNGs. And let's just put in the Sammy message. Here it is. Let's make it face the right way. And I can't see it. Okay, it's kind of hard for me to see it. It's kind of invisible right now. Okay, let me just move it. I can't see it. The icons are pretty good though. The icons are pretty similar to what Unity has. So let me just, wait a minute, is it? Oh yeah, oh yeah, it's like, somehow I can see it, but not completely. Okay, what is that? Is that the back side of it? Okay, maybe I have to like rotate it for it to work. Okay, yes. There we go, it's now working. Kind of complicated, but I'm kind of not very well versed into this game. But we can put the thing on the wall now and it looks pretty good. So yeah, we have Sammy. Well, we can put the thing on the face. Actually, yeah, I think we should do that. Let me just put it on the floor, I guess, before Sammy. So let me go ahead, take this thing and put it on the floor. So I'm actually having a really fun time doing this. Okay, that's kind of weird, but okay. Here it is, it's sort of on the floor. Okay, let me move it down. Oh wait, that's the floor itself. No. Let me put it back. Okay, here it is, the floor is fine. Now let's get the face. So here it is, it's now on the floor. Okay, and that concludes the decal part. But we also have Interactables, which you can add doors, but we already have a door frame here. And let's just spawn in a can of bacon soup, because why not? Speaking of which, I was going to make a DLC where you can spawn in interactable bacon soup and eat them at any time, so let me know if you want that still. Let me put it on the floor. And let me just rotate it. So it's okay. Okay, it's kind of floating, but let's make it a giant can of soup. Just a giant can of soup, like just a giant can of soup. This is a beautiful creation. Okay, this thing is gonna be so massive. Okay, yeah, it looks good, I think. Let me just make it a bit more wide. Yeah, here it is. Let's go ahead and play the map, I guess. Here it is, it's a giant interactable bacon soup can. And you can actually eat it. And here's Sammy asserting his dominance. So let's exit the map again. And lastly, what I wanted to show is the particles, which is just smoke and ink rain. Ink rain looks very cool, so I'm going to add it. And you can hear the sound effects too. So let me put it somewhere where you can actually see how it actually floats here. But if we put it here, you'll see that there's ink dripping now, and it's hitting the surface. Pretty cool. And I can actually also lower it so it's not coming from above the ceiling. So here it is now, it's actually here and it's beautiful. This is actually pretty fun. And lastly, if you want, you can also save this map. So I can save it, it doesn't really matter, but you do have to put in the path here, but actually it doesn't really matter. So what if I just say F? And I just say try? That should work, I think. Also, there is also the build feature where you can input a creator name. So just that, for example. and it doesn't really matter. I can put it in League, for example, and hit build. So yeah, that's the game, and I hope you enjoyed it and consider downloading it yourself. And stay tuned for more videos, which I will make more of soon as well.